I've been making art ever since I can remember. I remember being really young and my parents reading me fantasy books, and I remember just sitting on the floor of our living room with my siblings drawing out what they were reading to us. One of my vivid memories of one of those times was reading The Hobbit and drawing Smaug, sitting on the floor with my siblings and kind of like comparing our drawings with each other. It was just a way of remembering the story. It just made all of the stories a lot more vivid, and my siblings and I grew up drawing together, so we'd make up drawing games with each other, and it just kind of became our way of understanding the world around us through art. Now I definitely use art in the same way of kind of understanding what's going on around me and interpreting the world. It just makes more sense to see a piece of art or create a piece of art when something happens rather than talking it out for me. Two materials that have kind of slowly become the most important materials to me have been paper and clay. I took a ceramics class in high school and I just fell in love with it. I love how you can kind of mess with the clay and the clay talks back to you in its own sort of way. And clay also just holds a lot of the parts of the art making. You can leave thumbprints and glaze marks into the clay. I love how natural clay is. It comes straight from the earth. I think something similar between paper and clay is that they both hold a lot of memories inside of them. Paper is used in books and journals and posters and anything that you can think of, and it just holds so many important words in it. And I think being able to take that paper with so many memories and create 3D art out of it is something really special. And the same with clay. Clay kind of just takes everything that it touches, and everything that it touches affects it and affects the end product of whatever you're making with clay. In school, I'm studying to become an art therapist, and one of the most important aspects of art therapy is color. Color evokes a lot of emotion, and I think a lot of us associate different colors with different emotions. I was very intentional about the color in this piece. I wanted the colors to stay very natural to the materials. So a lot of the clay stayed its natural brown, earthy kind of color, and then a lot of the paper stayed crisp and white. When I look at my show, the simple color palette, it brings a lot of peace to me. I think the show brings a lot of contemplation to the people who view it, and the color palette really adds to that and allows for comfort in contemplation. I think for a lot of people, they find it really hard to use words to express themselves. And the reason I'm becoming an art therapist is to provide additional ways for people to express themselves and tell their own story. I love how art is so visual and also tactile and tangible. It allows you to tell your story in ways that don't even have to include words at all. The reason that I'm an artist, and part of the reason I want to be an art therapist, is to make the visual arts more accessible to people so they can have a new way to tell their own story. My name is Moirah Elizabeth Cooke, and my show title is In Search of the Unsearchable.